And today, Arsenal got the result. They're in the semi-finals of the Champions League. They didn't get the performance that they needed. And for me, they showed signs. Like if you'd only watched two Arsenal games in your entire life, which is the Bournemouth game from the weekend and then the Sporting game today. First of all, I apologize that you have had such a terrible run of games to watch. Also, probably a bad time to start becoming an Arsenal fan. Anyway, um, you would say this game was better than the Bournemouth game, but it's a relative better than the Bournemouth game. Was this a good game? No. Was it better than Bournemouth? Sure. Because Arsenal showed things, showed signs, showed elements of their play that they didn't show against Bournemouth on the same pitch in the same stadium. Today they showed that they can try and control it, they can be more progressive with their passing, they can create some tempo in the game. And I feel, especially in the first 20 minutes of this game, they really showed that. I felt Eze was popping up more on the right hand side, kind of giving Mascara and Nani Madueke some cover. It felt like what Odegaard used to do with Saka and Timber or Ben White on that right hand side. It felt like those combinations were forming, and truly Eze was the standout player, especially in the first half of this game. There were a lot of creative flicks, a lot of quick passes to get the game moving. But then we saw Arsenal kind of succumb back into familiar territory. Misplaced passes, David Raya mistakes, and just a toothless attack. I think between Martinelli, Nani Madueke, and Gyökeres, who were also our front line last weekend against Bournemouth, I think this front three had a combined of three passes to one another in this game. And that's just a disjointed front line. That is, yeah, that's just like a divorced front line. They want nothing to do with each other. They don't want to talk to each other. And I feel like if Arsenal need to make an attacking impact, especially in a situation where you're telling me Odegaard's out for a while, you're telling me Saka's out for a while, you're telling me Urian Timber's out for a while, I think you need Leandro Trossard in this side. I think you need Eze for sure playing in this side. Nani Madueke unfortunately came off injured today. We don't know how bad that injury is, but maybe having Max Dowman there may be a breath of fresh air, because we need to do something differently, because this is not working for Arsenal. Yes, the tempo was there, progressive passing was there. David Raya wasn't our top passer in this game, and those are small wins we'll take with us into the Manchester City game. But between Manchester City and the end of the season, I think this has shown us that it's not going to be 2024 end of season. It's not going to be Arsenal blitzing opponents all the way to the final day of the season. I think it's going to be a messy grind. It's going to be a messy, hard to watch grind for the remaining 6 Premier League games and whatever, 2 or 3 Champions League games that we do have. To give Arsenal more credit than Sporting, Sporting didn't create anything. The Katamo opportunity where it came off the post, where he kind of like shinned it from an Araujo cross, was the best opportunity that Sporting created. So this is not to say that Arsenal negated Sporting. Sporting didn't do anything of note. Like, the commentator had this like line in the last 10-ish minutes of this game where he was talking about how Sporting can really go for it now, but they weren't going for it at any point in this game. Trincao had a shot that went wide, and Katamo. That was the 2 clear opportunities that Sporting put together. As bad as Victor Gyökeres was, Luis Suarez was just as bad. Luis Suarez didn't create anything for Sporting either. And ultimately, like, this was just the dynamic that we had to play. Were we disciplined? Yes. Did we keep 2 clean sheets when we really need 2 clean sheets? Yes. But did we do more than that? No. And Rice's expression at the end of the game kind of gave it away. Like, in his post-match press conference, or like the interviews that he was doing at the side of the pitch, he was talking about how we're not scared of anybody. If we want to be in this position and we want to win things, we have to go out and grind those results. We'll play the way we have to play. We don't care about the pundits. We don't care about anyone else. It's just about what the manager thinks and what the player thinks. And I think that is the right answer. That is An honest answer. That is an acceptance that we know that we have to find a way to play when things aren't going our way. If you have to be real, in seasons gone by, um, we would have lost this game. In seasons gone by, if we were in a bad run of form, we would have lost in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. We would have conceded some crazy goal to Sporting, and we'd be out. But there's something to be said about when this team really focuses and puts their mind to it, they come away with the result. And today we came away with the result. And that's the only important thing that we can take away from this game.